What is up, Femalam? I am Alex. That is Jack, and today we're gonna be doing some F1, some NASCAR, some IndyCar. Uh, yeah, let's get into it. Um, there is one F1 news today, and then we'll do F1 adjacent news. But F1 news for today, the Cars X F1 Disney collab looks awful. I don't know why they're using a. Yep, yep. I have Lightning McQueen Croc somewhere in this room, but I don't know why they're doing a NASCAR movie collab with Formula One. If it was Michael Schumacher or if it was Luigi, whatever the hell, um, whatever his name was, I would understand because that's kind of Luigi, whatever the hell is F1 is an F1 car, and Michael Schumacher's F1 adjacent. I mean, so is Lewis Hamilton F1 adjacent. They had Sebastian Vettel in some of the versions that's F1 adjacent, or Fernando Alonso, who's also F1 adjacent. So definitely could have done. Uh, yeah, I think it's stupid that they're doing this movie.
Look at it this way. If you want to sell Francesco Bernoulli merch, go ahead.
That's what his name is.
But there's a reason that the most hated movie in the franchise is the one where F1 was remotely involved. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's like criminal that they're taking a beloved franchise, they're doing all this stuff this year to like bring it back for the 20th anniversary, and then they're turning around and trying to sell you a $600 varsity jacket featuring Lightning McQueen as a safety car. His whole identity is that he is the star of the racing movie about racing. They did so well in Cars 1 and Cars 3 to a different but similar extent. Like Cars 1, they did so well at just capturing NASCAR. Like they had so many people in and around the sport as part, like they had the accurate broadcast, right? They had a bunch of current drivers like involved. They had legends of the sport accurately depicted. All of these things. Cars 3, they did a really good like NASCAR stock car racing. They did really good stock car racing storytelling. And then Cars 2 was a spy movie that included a that I guess included F1 cars in it. So clearly the thing to do to this beloved franchise about stock car racing that is so quintessentially American that the first movie was like based around the idea of Route 66, right? And being lost in the American West. And we'll make Lightning McQueen a racer into a pace car, and we'll slap Formula One logos on it. And I truly don't know who thought this was a good idea.
I would like to apologize to the Cars community for slandering Luigi's name. I forgot that there was a car named Luigi, which is the yellow car, the Guido's best friend.
Yeah,
I
you watch only the
apologize.
Ferraris.
I apologize for calling Francesco Luigi. That's my bad. I regret my decision. Um, but we move. But yeah, I just don't think this is the great collab for this. If they
This
made a
is
Formula One movie, I think fine, collab with them on that. But this is not. Cars is not Formula One. It has never been Formula One. Even when they depicted Lewis Hamilton or Sebastian Vettel or Michael Schumacher or Fernando Alonso, they were in regular sports cars. They were not in depicted as F1 cars.
and Cars 1 especially and Lightning McQueen the character are, I would argue, maybe the best depiction of NASCAR in media. Um Both so faithful and so, what are you looking at me for?
Ricky Bobby is a damn good depiction. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just kidding. I'm just
Um
kidding.
like it's criminal for a going to Formula 1 instead of going to NASCAR for something like this, especially in a year that's supposed to be so big for the franchise. But I just can't get over turning Lightning McQueen into a pace car. Like I've tried to keep myself as measured as possible because this is like my childhood falling apart in front of my eyes here. But what are we doing? What are we doing?
I, I think the people need to revolt against Disney in Formula One. And I know that's going to be hard because all these Disney adults, wah, 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 We love Disney. Apparently, there's these women that are stalking, not Link. What's his name? Peter Pan at Disney, which is awful. Um, but like, I get Disney adults will never give it up, but for the casuals, for the people who aren't hardcore Disney adults, I think it's time to give up Disney. They haven't really produced many good movies recently either, so you know.
Well, we're also not the target audience for them anymore, I will say.
This is true, but nothing will beat 90s, 2000s Disney. Nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe you can include 2010s in there, the early half of the 2010s, but nothing will beat 2000s and 90s Disney. But yeah, that's the F1 news. But the F1 adjacent news, this Formula E. We have a new Formula E champion. The season is over. Pascal Wehrlein is our 2025-26 Formula E champion. He won the first race in London. The second race, he crashed with, championship rival and customer team driver for Porsche, right? Pascal Wehrlein drives for Porsche, the customer team. Andretti is a customer team for Porsche. They have a driver named Jake Dennis, who was leading the championship before these final two races. But they crashed, and they both got out of the points. DaCosta didn't take advantage. Literally nobody ahead of them, or right below them, took advantage of them being out of the points, and so Wehrlein won the championship. He's now a two-time champion. He's one of two-time champions with Jean-Eric Verne. Sorry. And Porsche, they secured the manufacturer's title at the previous race, but fell short of the constructors due to Pascal and Nico Mueller, who I believe started second and third, or third and fourth. I think it was third and fourth. But they started third and fourth, and because of the way the race went, they fell out of the points and succeeded to Jaguar, who I believe... No, hold up. I know their old driver was DaCosta, and I loved DaCosta. DaCosta was really good for Porsche. Never at the height of Pascal Wehrlein, but still damn good. Just trying to see the standings right now just to check. DaCosta does race for Jaguar, and he did help them win the team the team title. They won it by 17 points, even though Pascal Wehrlein won the title. Mitch Evans was only 9 points behind Wehrlein, and DaCosta was a decent bit ahead of Muller. He was 26 points ahead of Muller. So it's not a bad season for Muller, just not good either when your teammate is winning titles. And with how good DaCosta had been in previous years, definitely a step down. But he's learning, so you can't really fault him. So I'm not mad about it. But Porsche also won the manufacturer's title by 98 points because of how good Porsche and Andretti were. Their other team was I think it's Cupra Kiro. That team. I think that's their other team. They have 128 points. And then Andretti finished fourth in the constructors. So
Go Porsche. I
go
assume
Porsche, though.
takeaway.
Yeah, go Porsche, go Pascal Wehrlein. And then I just have my other point here is what could have been if Mercedes picked him instead of Bottas.
Why? What?
Because he's a hell of a driver, and I would have loved to see what.
And Valtteri wasn't when he was with Mercedes.
I think Valtteri was great. I think Valtteri was amazing with Mercedes. I think he was actually perfect for Mercedes because of Lewis being there. But I would have liked to see Pascal Wehrlein drive for Mercedes during that time.
Oh, just for his sake, you want to see him as like an F1 race winner?
Well, not even that. I just wanted to see what he can do. Maybe he takes his championship away from Lewis. Who knows? But he's a damn good driver, and I feel like he got left out of F1 way too early. Like, I think he definitely could have made his mark. But
no, that's fair. I thought you meant for Mercedes what could have been, and I was like, what are you talking about? They had the best years they could possibly have had there.
Yeah. I'm not saying what could have happened.
Okay.
I'm saying about what could have happened for Pascal Wehrlein.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah. The next race is the Dutch Grand Prix, which is this weekend on August 23rd. I have Kimi Antonelli, obvious. He's on fire. And if I pick Lewis, I feel like he's gonna lose.
So, just putting this out there, which Grand Prix are we going to? What country is it in?
Yeah, it's Zandvoort, but as you can tell, Max is not Max. So
Well, no, it's just
no.
It's
He's
just
washed.
it's just I I just have this feeling that there's going to be this song about a certain driver that's going to be playing a lot around the Netherlands this weekend. Perhaps it'll be this guy's home race. And for that reason, I will be picking Furiously Looks Up Other Dutch Drivers. No, I'm just going to pick Max. Is this partially because you took Kimi and partially because I've been picking Max and eventually he's going to win one? Both are true.
Is he? Is he?
The Red Bull has been continually improving and he's been competitive.
Be honest. Is he? Because no matter what you say, the Red Bull is still very, very third tier to the Mercedes and the Ferrari. And the McLaren, you could even say, is better now. So the fourth car. I feel
like it's so interesting. Really for the first 7 races of the season, you were trying to tell me that the Ferrari was so much worse. And now it's the Ferrari is the clear second.
No, it is the clear second. For sure, it's the clear second. But even the McLaren's above it now. I mean, screw it. The Alpine might be better than the sister team. Might be better than it now.
Alpine started off better with the powertrain difference, but you can't tell me that the last handful of races that the Red Bull hasn't closed the gap significantly.
I mean, maybe to fourth, but maybe in their own stratosphere, but not to the people above them. People above them versus the people above them. Max lucked out with the podium. I think last race he got a podium, and he lucked out to get that podium.
I mean, Max has 3 podiums in the last 4 races, which, mind you, is more than Lewis's one.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure not the last 2, but 2 of them, he lucked out hard. It was Silverstone and Belgium.
I'm talking Hungary and Belgium.
Belgium, which
were the last 2 races, and then Austria was the one before that.
Oh right, he didn't get he choked the podium in Silverstone. That's what happened. Well, he didn't really choke. That was kind of his car. I'm not gonna lie.
I was I don't know what you're talking about.
That was kind of the Macarena wing's fault. That they sucked the Macarena wing.
Hajar finished 5th at Silverstone. I don't know what you mean that the
Hajar finished and Max didn't. That's all. Driver error is all I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. But 100%. No, I mean, I just don't think he is. I don't think he has the. I don't think the car is close enough to compete with the 3 teams above him. I think it can compete if they can get their upgrades right. But again, everyone's been getting their upgrades right, so I don't really see how that makes a difference.
I think he finds a way to get it done at some point this year.
I don't think he does. But yeah. NASCAR time. Rockingham will not return to the NASCAR calendar in 2027. Thoughts? Sad.
Oh well, I don't know. I didn't necessarily have the same nostalgia for bringing Rockingham back that other people would. Just because, I was very young when they were racing there before, as in basically not even born yet. And so obviously it was cool that they went through all of the steps and brought it back and had a racing there again. I don't really care all that much. When it comes to the actual product on track, I'm not going to miss it terribly much. I gotta say.
Trying to see, it wasn't the Cup that raced there. Who was it? It was Riley and Trucks, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it doesn't really move me. Maybe if Cup was there, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't move me that much. I'm sorry. I don't really care about this. I'm fine if it's not on the calendar.
Because it was cool that they did all of that to bring it back, but the location's a little tough. The racing product isn't amazing. And there are so many tracks in that area, like in North Carolina there. And generally in the vicinity, right? Whether you're going slightly north, slightly south, slightly west. That region just has such a high density of tracks that I am perfectly fine losing one, even if this was a cool story for a little bit.
Yeah. Other one we have is Gibbs Bristol scheme, which is a Kyle Busch tribute.
Yeah, you want to show it?
Right? Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Bang, on screen. It's pretty sick. I like it.
This thing is incredible.
Yeah. It is. It's not bad.
I mean, M&M's coming back to sponsor a race, honoring Kyle Busch at the Bristol night race. Of course, Kyle Busch famously very good at Bristol. Yep. Winning a combined 22 times on the concrete. And not only is it an M&M scheme and the classic M&M scheme, but it is the M&M scheme made up of a mosaic of moments from Kyle Busch's career.
Okay, okay, that makes more sense. I was confused on why
it looked a little
rugged, but yeah, that makes sense. Because normally it's all smooth and all that. Yeah, okay, gotcha. That's pretty sick. I like that.
And obviously Ty Gibbs, I think Ty Gibbs having such a strong season makes this a lot easier to be happy for. I think that there would have been a world if this season played out differently that people were still upset about Ty Gibbs taking his seat, kind of. Yeah. Even though obviously a lot of this had to do with M&M's leaving and a whole lot going down. But it's really great that this has all worked out in such a way that the team and the sport can honor him in this way, because this is really an incredible scheme, an incredible way to honor him. The right team, the right scheme, the right track, and with his family's involvement, that I'll be rooting for Ty.
Hell yeah. And I believe it's a short track, right?
What?
It's a short track? It is a short
track?
track?
It's Bristol.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so Gibbs definitely has a chance at the win there. 100%. There are two places where Gibbs has chances at wins, road courses and short tracks. So Logano might be there to spoil the party, and if Logano wins, I think that would be kind of funny. Just because of how annoyed Kyle Busch got because of Joey Logano being Joey Logano. But
well, that's true of many drivers, but yeah.
I would love to see a Gibbs W there, and that might solidify. It's in the playoffs though, which, listen, if Gibbs can do that in the playoffs in a cold, rainy night at Stoke, I think that'd be pretty sick.
Happy birthday to us.
Oh shoot.
The race is September 19th. So it's the weekend that's...
Oh my god, for my birthday, I want a Ty Gibbs W at Bristol. My birthday's on the 17th, so for my birthday, I want a big fat Ty Gibbs W. And Jack's early present would like that.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, I mentioned that Kyle Busch won a combined 22 times at Bristol. Yes. He won 47 of his 63 wins were with Mars brands, whether that's M&M's or Skittles or whatever else, on the 18 Joe Gibbs Toyota. Obviously, they're running the 54 here because the 18 is out of commission.
Continue.
All right. His last Cup win with Joe Gibbs was also the last Cup win with M&M's, or well, with Mars in general, and that was at the Bristol Dirt Race in 2022. Obviously, Joe Gibbs also supported him, like he ran for them in the O'Reilly Series. That was 90 of his 102 wins there, 8 of those being with Mars. Oh, there we go. Got the Kyle Busch M&M's jacket.
Yes, sir.
This... You know, I mean, obviously, you think Kyle Busch, you think of the M&M's 18, you think of Joe Gibbs Racing, you think of all the success they had together. And even if it's not the 18, but it still is spiritually the same team, it's just really, really great for them to be able to bring this back and for them to get Mars to sign on and all of this.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I like the scheme. I've always loved the M&M scheme. That's why I got this jacket. I got this jacket $80 at a thrift store, antique store, one of the two. You'd think that's a lot of money.
It was $80. It sounds like an antique store.
Yeah. But like, that's not that bad for this. Like, this is like I have stuff that I got at a thrift store nearby that are like semi-new. Like, they're still selling that shit. They're still selling that on the NASCAR shop. I got it at a thrift store for like maybe $50 total for like 3 or 4 jackets, right? But this is higher quality than all of those that I got. And those are newer. You know.
Yeah.
I also think the M&M's is timeless, classic. You know.
I'm not saying they were price gouging you. I just mean that that's steep for anything that would be calling itself a thrift store.
Yeah. Well, the thrift store prices I got for a jacket like this, which is the ones that are recent. I got a Jimmy Johnson one, the Joey Logano one, the Dale Earnhardt Sr. one, and that might be. I might have got 3 for $50. There might have been one more, but still, like I'm happy with this. I saw it. Knew I had to have it. You know, I love Kyle Busch. To be fair, he was one of the drivers that I also knew about before I started watching NASCAR. Like,
yeah, I mean, I would talk about NASCAR, and you were like, "Oh, the M&M's guy."
Yeah, like it was Busch and it was Bubba, who I knew before I started watching NASCAR, and so I'm happy for this scheme. I'm happy for this tribute. If they make a diecast about this, I'm buying that instantly. I don't give a damn what the price is. I'm getting this diecast.
I'm sure it'll be a popular. I am sure it'll be popular, assuming they can.
I have a Busch M&M's diecast that I love. I also got this at the antique store for like $10. So like, if I can get one like that, that's on screen now. I'd love that too. Last week we talked about Noah Gragson.
Oh no!
This week he gets a contract extension for 2027 at FRM, and in that contract, it could extend further than 2027 into 2028, 2029, 2030. We don't know, but we know at least it's for 2027 with options to increase the length. I'm going to let you speak on this first, and then I'll give my thoughts.
I think that the best point I can make is to play a pop quiz. Alex, I want you to name every full-time driver that Noah Gragson is ahead of in points.
Connor Zilisch, Cody Ware, end of list.
Nope, 2 more. But only 2 more.
Zane Smith.
No, Cole Custer and Ty Dillon. Don't disrespect Zane Smith like that, man.
Dog, no, you know why I said that? Because Connor Zilisch and Gragson once went on a podcast, and they said that the back markers of the Cup Series this year, I forget what they call themselves, but like it was Zane Smith, Noah Gragson, Connor Zilisch, Cole Custer, and
Zane Smith and Todd Gilliland, Noah's 2 teammates at front row, are 23rd and 24th in the points. Noah is 31st. The points difference between them is over 100. The 2 other teammates being close to each other, and Noah being very far behind. Now, many people think that Noah is a better driver than the results he's gotten. Clearly, front row is a better team than the results they've gotten out of Noah. I don't know who this arrangement makes sense for. This has not worked in any way, shape, or form since getting there. And that's before you count any aspects. Like, you can argue that it helps them from a social media personality perspective, but I can't imagine. I don't know. I'm sure it doesn't necessarily help his case for attracting new sponsors or anything like that. The suspension history that he has and general, I'll say general propensity to get headlines, even though it's not always him and sometimes it's just people around him.
I saw a comment on a social media post, and there was a lot of people who were agreeing that said if Noah Gragson was in Ty Gibbs' seat, he would have won a title by now. I'm telling you right now, Noah Gragson could have God on his side, and he is still not finishing higher than 30th in that Joe Gibbs car. Absolutely not. Ty Gibbs is eons better than Noah Gragson.
Let me put it this way.
Eons.
Riley Herbst in a 2311 car is in 26th. He has nearly 100 more points, which means nearly like 30% more points than Noah Gragson this season. If they swapped seats, I don't think Gragson would be much better than even with Herbst.
I don't think Noah Gragson would be 100 points within Herbst anyway. I think he would still find a way to finish in the 30s.
It's just frustrating.
It is.
I don't know who it benefits, and this is at a time when it's kind of always true that prospects get the short end of the stick, but as we'll talk about, you've got guys like Corey Day that are suddenly finding themselves blocked. You've got guys like Lane Riggs, who is a front row driver and who seems likely to be staying in the Truck Series for the foreseeable future. You've got so many guys that are fighting for seats all over the place, a glut of young talent. And then you've got a guy who, for all intents and purposes, seems to be at a dead-end seat and regressing, staying in the same spot. And I just don't understand it.
I think people are clinging on to his one singular good year in NASCAR when he finished second in the O'Reilly Series to Ty Gibbs.
Hey, in fairness, he did look good in the O'Reilly Series.
He beat Ty Gibbs in wins. He beat Ty Gibbs in top fives. He beat Ty Gibbs in top tens. I think he also beat Ty Gibbs in poles. He had a better average finish, a better average start, but he lost the title. And I think people are clinging on to that. Hey, he looked one good year in O'Reilly, then it was Xfinity, but he had one good year in Xfinity and he showed promise. He hasn't showed promise since he got to the Cup. He just hasn't.
Quite the opposite. He's like, since getting into that Stewart-Haas seat, he has looked brutally bad. And what kills me is the front row lineup in trucks is always so good. Like, you know, issues with Chandler Smith as a person aside, you had Zane Smith in the trucks for a while. They managed to get him a Cup seat. Great. You have Lane Riggs and Chandler Smith, and that is like, that's a dynamic duo as far as the Truck Series is concerned, right? Like, that is number 1 and number 3 in the points right now, with Caden Honeycutt splitting the two. And despite having 3 cars in the Cup Series, 3 full-time entries, is your plan to have those 2 guys just stay there forever? Are you really not going to have Lane Riggs, who's, you know, been in your organization, and I would argue done his time in the Truck Series, but at this point, you're not going to give him a shot in favor of a guy who is head and shoulders behind? I don't know if that really works as a saying, but head and shoulders behind the other 2 drivers in your team. And don't get me wrong, but I don't think any other teams are really lining up to pick up Todd Gilliland and Zane Smith. And if Gragson is comfortably behind those guys, what does that say about him?
Yeah. I think a couple of people, they were trying to throw Zane Smith's hat in the Trackhouse car for 2028.
I mean, I could see that, but I could also see any number of other guys. We'll get to that too, but it saddens me.
What also saddens Jack, Kyle Larson pulled off a pretty impressive double. Finished P6 in the Cup race and then won the Knoxville Nationals after the Cup race. Flew over, got a police escort, got there just in time, and won it.
Yeah, I feel obligated to clarify that I actually think this is really cool.
I know, but I just wanted to, from your comment. Okay, for people who don't know, me and Jack were messaging about our next one, so I'll preface it there. But Jack said some words, and I thought it was hilarious.
All I said was that I always root against Hendrick Motorsports. That it's not like Hendrick has done any. It's not like Hendrick is anything like Richard Childress as far as a team owner, as far as I'm aware. I just happen to always root against Hendrick Motorsports. Although it's often true that I root against the Chevys. That is a trait about me that I don't tend to hide. But this is incredible. I mean, Larson put himself on pole for the Knoxville Nationals, but knew he probably wasn't going to be able to actually race in it because the main event was a direct conflict with the Cup Series race at Richmond. But suddenly, the Richmond race is happening. The Knoxville Nationals are not. They're falling way, way behind because of weather delays. And so as the race is unfolding, his team is working on a plan to get him out to Iowa to run this double. And somehow, some way, from Richmond, Virginia, out to Knoxville, Iowa, not only does he finish top 10 in the Cup race, not only does he make it to Iowa, but he wins the damn thing. 4-time winner of the sprint car race, like the biggest race in the discipline, and a huge race in general. The 1,100-mile trip, and he made it. And he won it.
I saw some people commenting that this was the real double, and I was cackling.
Okay, I don't know about all that. This is like the sprint car race, but that is crazy.
I was laughing. I think their Larson fans are just trying to grasp onto the fact that he sucks at open wheel cars. And just
frankly,
like,
I think they were just joking.
I hope so, because they're memeing. He had a Larson profile picture and a Larson username.
I struggle to believe that any IndyCar fan or not, that any American racing fan would disrespect the Indy 500 in that way. Saying that this is impressive and joking that this is the real double and he winning it and all that, absolutely. But I refuse to believe they're serious if they're talking about the Indy 500 like that.
Listen, some people might not respect open wheel racing, so.
I feel like the one thing that you can't touch in the U.S. is the Indy 500.
It's actually the Daytona 500, the one thing you can't touch. Respect on the name Daytona.
Okay.
And then there's the Cola 600. And then, yes, I know. Anyway, yeah, cool, fun. Larson's coded, very good at racing, very good at all disciplines except for open wheel because, as we know, he likes to downshift while accelerating. But I mean, he wants to be a sprint car driver when he retires, so retirement may not be that far away for him.
You say that like he isn't already one, realistically. I mean, he races a lot.
I know, but what I'm saying is he has been on record recently saying that he wants to retire soon, and his family will decide what he does, whether he does sprint cars full time after that, or, just becomes a family man, or, but, yeah. Someone who's not going to be a family man anytime soon, Connor Zilisch. He's too young for that. He's 19 years old. He's too young for that right now.
Hey, but he's 20, I think.
Is he?
20.
He's not. I don't think he's 20. I thought he's still 19.
Oh, is he still 19?
Or unless he recently turned 20.
Yeah, no, he's turned 20 a few weeks ago. July 22nd.
Oh, crap. Welcome to the unction, Connor Zilisch. Connor Zilisch, though, he is going to Hendrick Motorsports in 2028, driving the number 48 for Ally Racing. So good. Finally out of the dumpster after next year. The dumpster they call Trackhouse Racing.
Come on.
They've taken a step back. You can't deny it. They've taken a step back.
I'd argue they might be better than last year, but the bar is low.
Yeah, no, hell no. Chastain got a win last year. None of them outside of... Yeah, they still got a win. Chastain still made the playoffs. Chastain's not near the playoffs. SVG has 2 wins.
And Chastain
on road courses. SVG had 5 wins last year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, SVG has his 2 wins, and Chastain is currently second from the cut line.
And what's your freaking point? Chastain and SVG both made the freaking cut last year.
Well, yeah, that was because SVG won.
SVG wouldn't have made the cut, but he did win 5 races last year. He's not even going to win 3. He hasn't even won half of that. The Trackhouse car's worse.
I disagree, but anyway.
I think it's worse. There's no. You're telling me that this generational talent of a prospect who did pretty damn well last year in the 2025 equipment is utter dog shit this year? No way in hell there's that much of a difference outside of the car being shite.
I mean, the 8 DNFs and many more instances of bad luck, even when he didn't DNF, I think are a lot louder than any actual lack of speed. But also, it is notable how far he is behind his teammates. As in, Chastain has double the points of Zilisch, and SVG has even more than that.
I'm just saying, there's no way that Connor Zilisch comes into the Cup for a car that is better than last year's and sucks.
But anyway, can I say what I want to say about this instead
Sure.
of getting in a instead of arguing about something else?
Yeah.
This is heartbreaking to me for a number of reasons. One, Connor Zilisch signing for Trackhouse so early on was a really cool story, and an especially cool story that it worked. And it feels like we've seen some others kind of follow in that model since. But it was kind of rewarding as a fan to watch that happen over a few years of becoming a Trackhouse development driver, of racing in all these different disciplines, of then coming into NASCAR and tearing it up in the O'Reilly series and becoming this hot prospect for Trackhouse. Like, it was this move that seemed to really be working out for them, that you would hope that this incredible prospect would get a chance to kind of grow with the team, bring the team back to where it was speed-wise even 2 years ago. All of these things. And of course, he's had, as we've talked about at length, atrocious luck this year. But to see him immediately hop to one of the premier teams in the sport, in Hendrick Motorsports, it is the same kind of vibes as, like, I don't know, let's say the Los Angeles Dodgers trading for Tarek Skubal, or any number of other player acquisitions they make, where it's like, for the player's sake, you want a guy that comes up as a franchise guy, that has all the makings of, like, kind of a franchise guy, of building something, and then they jump ship early, right? And it's always hard to stomach in sports when something like that happens. And I think that you've seen baseball fans have that reaction time and time again. Well, in baseball, you have it a lot outside of just, Tigers fans. Basically all baseball fans are upset about that specific instance, Alex included.
And I don't even watch baseball that much.
No, you don't. But it's just really heartbreaking to me from that perspective of, like, Trackhouse put so much into getting him to the Cup Series, even though he would have got there one way or another. But, like, they bought early. They got him rides. They were so involved. And they get 2 seasons out of him, where one of them is maybe the worst luck ever conceived. Like, truly incomprehensible levels of bad luck. Like, he is what Leclerc fans think Leclerc has. And to be fair, Charles Leclerc has really bad luck, but this is just on another level. And I don't know. Because on one hand, I fully get and I echo the sentiment from, like, Justin Marks, the Trackhouse team owner, of, like, hey, he has this opportunity. I'm really happy for him. But also, man, would it be nice to have him stick at Trackhouse, and maybe if he spent a few years there and then this happens, sure, but as it stands, it just feels like we missed out on part of what was shaping up to be potentially a really great story. And at the same time, Corey Day, I think that, I know you especially, Alex, have had your opinion on him swing mightily in both directions over time. But he also was being groomed, personally picked by Larson, really, and was being groomed for this 48 seat. And now that you have Zilisch in there is no window for Corey Day to hit Hendrick Motorsports anytime soon.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Larson could retire.
Larson's 34.
And he's talked about possibly retiring at 35. He has a year to decide, but he's been openly talking about how he wants to retire around 35. He said this in multiple interviews about how he's going to leave it up to his family to see what he does in the future. But 35 is where he wants to like kind of like
Look, I'll
race
believe it
fully.
when I see it. As it stands, it's the same thing as like when Max Verstappen says every now and then that he's going to step away, and then he just keeps racing or keeps sticking around.
Well, Max said he was going to step away at 28, which I believe he is 28 now.
But like he's been saying different things for a while, Max has, about stepping away. And with Larson, I treat it kind of the same way. With someone like Denny, you understand because he is nearing the end of his career. But
No, he's not. Don't say that. Don't say that. The man can race at least 90 and he'd still be fast. Don't say
okay,
that. No. That hurts my
okay.
feelings.
But now that because Bowman was obviously the odd man out at Hendrick, and now that you're replacing him with someone who's currently 20, and you've got Chase Elliott who's still in the prime of his career, you've got Kyle Larson who's still in the prime of his career, you've got William Byron who you could argue maybe is entering the prime of his career still. It's a lineup that should be set for a while to come, and I don't know what that leaves for Corey Day. And that's also a little sad because it was cool to see Hendrick do it that way, because that's where their best stories have come from and the guys that are easy to root for at Hendrick. I may not be the biggest Chase Elliott fan, but it was cool that Chase Elliott has been at Hendrick since breaking into the Cup Series and built his career up there. Certainly a lot more cool than I feel like watching a guy like Larson succeed, where I certainly enjoyed Larson's success more at Ganassi than I think I would at Hendrick. I think Bowman might be an exception there just because Bowman wasn't, I don't know. I feel like Bowman's pre-Hendrick career wasn't anything to write home about, but I don't know.
I like this move. I think that getting out of Trackhouse as early as he did is good. He gets in a good car. He gets into a team with a lot of budget, resources, all that, to help him improve that Trackhouse just wouldn't have in general, despite Trackhouse being decent for development. Hendricks is just above that. And yeah, I like this move. I want him to get into better equipment, be able to showcase his talent more. It does suck for Corey Day, but I think this was, I mean, it was between Day and Zilisch, and I couldn't see Hendricks bringing up Day at the point that they did. I feel like Zilisch is the better option. He has had a better O'Reilly career than Day has. He has not been as good in Cup. Well, Day hasn't been in the Cup yet, but like Zilisch hasn't been as good in the Cup. A lot of that due to luck, but he has shown flashes here and there, which in a better car would definitely help him win, or at least get up there and learn even more. Because all he's doing right now is running at the back of the field, and that doesn't really help progress in any way, shape, or form. So
I do think saying all he's doing is running at the back of the field is not necessarily accurate. He hasn't been slow. He's been not running a lot of times. But it's not like he's just parading around slow as heck the whole time. A lot of the bad finishes are coming from things that happened during the race. And obviously for the last handful of weeks, he's been on a much, much better stretch, like qualifying wise.
he qualified 11th at Richmond. He qualified 8th at Iowa. At Indy, he qualified 31 and finished 34. At North Wilkesboro, he qualified 32 and ended 32. At Atlanta, he qualified 25th and finished 28th. But recently, he has been on a stretch of good qualifying, good finishes.
Are you reading out just the times that they've actually had qualifying? Or are you also including metric qualifyings?
Oh wait, no, you're right, because Atlanta, they didn't qualify, did they? Okay, well, Wilkesboro, they had qualifying now. Either way, he hasn't been fast enough to be able to get higher up in any qualifying. Whether it be legit qualifying, like legit qualifying sessions that go fully through, or the qualifying that the metrics does. he hasn't been fast enough to improve in those quality times that have to get there. Although now more recently, I do think that he will be higher up in those metrics because he has qualified better. He has finished better. He's finally showing pace. I don't know what Trackhouse did to their car, but Richmond wasn't bad for them, you know. Overall, Chastain 12, um, SVG 14. Zilisch was in 25th, but he qualified 11th, right? So they are showing speed. They are showing a bit of pace now, which is nice to see. But it's just been unlucky for Zilisch. So, but I'm happy this move is going through. I do find it hard to root for Hendrick, just because I don't really like any of their drivers. I don't like Chase. I don't like Byron. I don't like Larson. Bowman, I'm cool with, but the rest of them, not really. So it doesn't really help for me. But I mean, I don't hate Hendricks. So, and I am glad this is happening so we can get in a better ride. But yeah. Do you want to do a recap for Richmond?
Go for it.
We got the Cup. Even year, Joey Logano is here. First place. Absolute. Well, it wasn't really domination. He led the second most laps? He led 95 laps. Briscoe led 171. But Logano was fast all day. Was in the top 5 damn near all day. Did really well. Briscoe, Hendrick, P2, P3 showed real speed. Hendrick finally putting it together towards the end of this season. This is Penske's bread and butter, so you love to see it, especially for a guy like Hendrick. Denny P4 did well, 46 points. Yeah. And then you had all 4 Hendrick cars in the top 10. You had Elliott P5, Larson P6, Byron P9, Bowman P10. So that's cool, I guess. Barry, top 10 is second in a row. He got P8, and then Bell runs up the top 10 in P7. Reddick was close to a top 10. Chastain was close to a top 10. Blaney was really fast in the beginning and then fell off hard, ended up a lap down. Gibbs was running up there for a little bit, but he finished 15th. Priest is all but out pretty much. I mean, he's
Don't
probably
sleep on
not gonna
SVG's performance here. SVG finishing ahead of Priest in this race. And
yes.
I mean, A, put it on pole for the trucks, but B, has been looking more and more, especially on shorter tracks, like not only does he belong, but is competitive with the Cup guys.
Yeah. And he's 50 points ahead of Priest right now in the standings. Priest probably not going to make the chase at this point unless SVG royally screws up.
Yeah, I mean, Priest needed a good performance here and instead lost ground. Ever so slightly, but lost ground.
Yeah. He qualified 6th, but then finished 17th. So, didn't get any stage points. Sad to see. But now if we go to our standings, over here, Hamlin still won. Blaney usurped Gibbs and is now 8 points ahead of... No, 7 points ahead of Gibbs?
He's 12.
Oh, shoot. Dude, I'm doing math wrong. I'm thinking, okay, the opposite. yeah. So it's 12. So Blaney's now 12 points ahead of Gibbs. Reddick in 4th. Briscoe 5th. Elliott usurps Bell. Well, they're tied on points now, but Elliott gets the nut because he has 2 wins. And then Larson, Logano. Up 4, Logano. Up to 9th. This is listen. If I were another driver on track, I'd be scared shitless because this man, even your Joey Logano, is coming back. Like I would be shitting myself. Because this man is dangerous on an even year. Busher, Hocevar, Byron, and Suarez all went down a couple places. Hocevar down a ton. He was what, 3rd or 4th at one point in the season? And now he's down to 11th. He's had a rough string of races. He actually was the only DNF of this past race at Richmond. And then Bubba's still 14th, but, still looking for that first win. And then Hendrick usurps Van Gisbergen for 15th. So Gisbergen's on the line, and then Priest 50 points off of Van Gisbergen. Chastain is like 63 points off of Van Gisbergen. So yeah, fun stuff. Excited for the chase. 2 races left. Trucks, Caden Honeycutt's goated. He dominated this race. Like absolute domination. Led 225 laps. Got 76 points out of 80. Won by 1.3 seconds. Had the fastest lap of the race. Unbelievable. And then Heim finished second. Didn't lead any laps, which is nuts. Van Gisbergen was 4th. Enfinger 5th. Tristan McKee, in his debut in the Truck Series, finished 8th. Pretty good. Up 5 places from where he started. Yeah. Thoughts on any of those races?
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess Destiny Spurlock got in a truck and, fell a few laps down for sure, although it is terrible equipment and whatever else, but still, finished the race, ran the race, and, made it into it in the first place, which is always good to see. I guess Landon Lewis's reign of terror is over. He finished 14th.
Yeah. It seems like every week he was racing.
Like every race he entered, basically top 5 in, but this time only 14th. Oh no.
Only 14th. Oh no. What are we gonna do? Still higher than Lane Riggs.
And mind you, in a Nice truck, which
true.
Oh man. Potential weapon.
Yeah. I had Austin Dillon and Heim. None of them won.
I had Reddick and Riggs, and it went bad for Reddick like right away. And Riggs just didn't necessarily have it this week. So, oh well.
For predictions for Loudon,
New Hampshire.
I have Bell in the Cup, and I got Bell in the Trucks.
Given that Alex picked, I'll say the guy to pick at Loudon, I will instead pick someone for whom it is their home race, double up on home races like I did in F1, and pick Joey Logano. What are you looking at me for?
I don't think I'd consider this Logano's home race. He's from Connecticut, mate, not New Hampshire.
He's from Middletown, Connecticut. One. It's the only race that's in New England, and from Middletown, it is closer than any of the other tracks.
Sir, you're forgetting about Lime Rock Park in the NASCAR Truck Series. I think that's disrespectful.
I do feel like you just said NASCAR Truck Series, and
yeah, you said the only race in New England. It's not the only race in New England. Lime Rock has.
Joey Logano is too cool. Joey Logano is too cool for the Craftsman Truck Series.
No, he's not. I'm going to be clear. No, he is not. Priest isn't either, but Priest, I think, is going to a modified race right
Priest is race trucks.
Yeah, but like Logano... Yeah, but last time Logano raced trucks, he was, like, working his way up the ladder. Like, well, I think Laguna should come back. Also, I just want to say, I'm a double gooner.
At a picture of Joey Logano, that man just emanates cool. He's clearly too cool to be driving a truck.
Lex Luthor. Like, he actually does look so cool. I do want to say I'm a double Gooner fan. I'm a Lagooner fan, and I am a Gooner fan, as in the Arsenal Gooners. So,
fascinating digital footprint you've got there,
dude. I'm still gonna make that video about the Smash or Pass Athletics edition, where I do Smash or Pass, but it's with like sports equipment. Because I think if I did it with the athletes, that'd be a little disrespectful. So, I'm going to do it with sports equipment. That's still going to go out there. I just need to figure out a time to get all the info I need done.
Got to research the sports equipment.
No, I got
Make
yeah.
sure you
I
find
need
a
to
bunch
figure.
of different angles
No,
online.
no. I just need to find
I,
like all because all I know like figure skates, football, basketball, baseball. Um,
I still feel like you should take me up on my badminton racket
so
suggestion.
the badminton rackets will be there. Yep.
Um, but anyway, I got Logano in the Cup Series, home race, get it done, even year Logano, blah blah blah. And I'll just keep Lane Riggs. I'll hold on to him until he does something good in the trucks.
You've jinxed him now. You've jinxed Logano, man. I don't appreciate that. The whole reason why I picked Seabell was because I didn't want Logano. I wasn't gonna pick Logano because I knew if I picked him, he'd.
Well, then you shouldn't have picked the guy I was gonna pick then.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do? Pick freaking. Who am I supposed to pick? I'm trying to jinx somebody. I'm trying to jinx Bell.
All right, to editor Alex, you should have picked blank. Now insert whoever wins this race. You have to predict it. you should have picked Ty Gibbs.
I can insert Ty Gibbs into that statement.
I mean, you could insert anyone. You could insert Francesco Bernoulli into that statement.
I'm gonna insert Noah Gragson into that clip.
No.
You don't know the power I have. Anyway, there are no IMSA stories, but there is a race this weekend. It's the Michelin GT Challenge at VAR on August 23rd, and the Battle of the Bricks at Indy RC on September 20th is 5 weekends away. There's no WEC stories, but the next race is at the Lone Star Le Mans at COTA on September 6th, which is 3 weekends away. And there's no MotoGP. And now quickly, we're going to be doing an IndyCar spotlight. Markham sucked. It was a disaster. Screw Markham. This upcoming weekend of the race we shall not be talking about will also probably be the same. But the good thing about this past weekend, Louis Foster, you've earned yourself as driver spotlight of the week. You grabbed pole. You led 32 laps in the opening stint. And you looked amazing until your DNF. Rest in peace. I'm just kidding. You're not dead. I just rest in peace. The good weekend for you. And then I did interview him and I posted about it. So, I'm pretty sick. And so is he.
I'm pretty sick is crazy.
Romain Grosjean also gets a spotlight. Started at 13th, led 28 laps, which is second most, and finished second. And finally, Will Power, the third spotlight of the week. Started 25th, led 1 lap, and finished third. Yeah.
Who won?
Marcus Ericsson.
Cool. I just thought it was funny that you spotlighted second and third. But yes, that is true.
First place isn't really getting spotlighted. It's first place.
I feel like we often do spotlight whoever wins the race.
Yeah, that's when I get lazy in my spotlights.
God dang it. Okay.
When I end up watching like the entire race, I will pick a spotlight not in first. But when I only watch highlights because I forget that I have the IndyCar race downloaded to my Hulu, I will pick the winner normally because I can't be asked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This race was kind of a disaster, which you talked about a little bit, but they literally didn't finish building the course in time, and so didn't really have any on-track action on Friday, and it was kind of horribly bad in many ways.
Yeah.
So big props to the first year of like Markham organizing this and instead of it being in Toronto. Horrible showing, and now we head to an even more shoddily planned event that I'm sure, since IndyCar got it out of their system and with what's at stake, that they'll get these most basic things right, but so much else will be wrong about it. Speaking of things that feel wrong, though, Kyle Calais is no longer a possibility for the open seat at Meyershank Racing. Okay, whatever. Feels like kind of a shame because that's a guy who, was a prospect and still feels like he has promise. But what really stands out to me is Dennis Hauger, who was tearing it up in Indy NXT, who was an Andretti prospect, Andretti ties, who got the ride at Dale Coyne for this year. That was kind of supposed to be a stepping stone to bigger and better things, is done with Andretti. No longer with Andretti, no longer under contract for 2027 with Andretti Global. He could potentially return to Coyne if Coyne wants him back separately. but it won't be as part of any development program. It won't be with any future path to a seat with Andretti or anything like that. And I don't know about you, but that feels really premature for a guy who was so highly touted and for such good reason, and who has been in, no disrespect to Dale Coyne, but a Dale Coyne car. Obviously, we just talked about Grosjean finishing second in this race, which, big props to him, but like, it's not like he's in a Penske right now, or, a Ganassi or an Andretti, like, or even a McLaren, or he's not in any of the top teams.
Yeah. I think it's premature. I think he deserves better. Yeah. Maybe F1 will take him. They don't take anybody. They recycle all their people.
Speaking of F1 and Andretti, Colton Herta has been having a rough go of it, and it sounds like his F1 dreams are dashed, which different cars takes a while to get up to speed, all of that.
Maybe that's why Andretti isn't taking Gurries. They're gonna get
Okay.
yeah, they're gonna get what's his name? Yeah, Colton Herta.
That's funny.
Just that. This week in racing, you got the F1 Dutch Grand Prix Sprint on the 22nd of August at 6 a.m. Eastern. What the fuck? Why is it so early? I don't understand.
Man, maybe it's in the Netherlands.
Yeah, but like the race is at 9. Why couldn't you just have it at 9? I'm not waking up for that crap. Are you kidding me?
Well, the problem with the sprint is that then they need to have regular qualifying.
What's your point? It's only 6 hours ahead. Have the sprint at like 6 is 7:30. How about that? It's like a 30-minute sprint. 7:30.
Okay. Sure.
Right? Finish at 8. Right?
Sure.
Qualifying at 9:30. You have an hour and a half to clean up the track. Just a
sure.
Yeah. But like 6 a.m. is crazy. I'll rewatch it on F1 TV once I wake up. Then you have the NASCAR Trucks EJP 175 at Loudon on August 22nd, Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Then on Sunday, you have the F1 Dutch GP at Zandvoort at 9 a.m. Then the IMSA Sports Cars GT Challenge at VIR at 12 p.m. And then the NASCAR Cup Dollar Tree 301 at Loudon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this could certify Denny Hamlin as your regular season champion if he finishes 81 points ahead of the next best driver, which means he can't lose like 20-something points to Blaney or Gibbs.
Go Denny.
Go Denny Hamlin.
Man, had a streak of bad luck for Tyler Reddick, which has seemed to just drag on and on and on, just keeps happening.
Yeah. Well, he did finish okay.
Yeah, I mean, he recovered really well, but he got bit like basically right from the start of the race with bad luck once again. Because he's still been as fast as he was. It's just everything is like conspiring against him, almost Zilisch like.
Yeah. Maybe it's I don't know. He's still fourth though, and he's still so many points ahead of fifth. That's the funny thing. He's still like 120 points ahead of fifth, which is damn. I lied. Denny Hamlin can't lose 34 points to Blaney or Gibbs. If he finishes within 34 points of Blaney or Gibbs, well, okay, technically, he finishes 34 plates with 34. If he loses 34 points to Blaney, he's still good for the regular season title with 1 to go. For Gibbs, it's like
more than that.
Points. Yeah, 46 points. So like, basically, Denny Hamlin's won the regular season title.
Pretty much.
I'm going to say pretty much he's won it. That's the pod. Jack, do you have any thoughts?
I'm looking around for props. Here's a Monument Valley keychain. Any Monument Valley heads in the chat?
Is that game on Steam or something?
It's like a puzzle. It's a puzzle game. It was also a mobile game and other stuff. Yeah, it goes crazy. Love me some Monument Valley.
I think I've seen it at some point. Yeah. My final thought. Oh, is that your final thought? Or are you still
no, yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay. My final thought is check out the episode that I have filmed with Caleb. On Thursday, it's going out.
Oh.
Thursday or Friday. Make sure to tune into that. And then, yeah.
Joseph Logano, 2026 NASCAR Cup Series champion.
And we're going to end it on that because that's factual and not false and totally going to happen. Bye.
Oh, yeah.